Alright, to crimp the battery terminals, insert the wire into the gauge, open them up all the way, farther apart. Alright, hold it still. Alright, now squeeze. All the way down. And open it up, pull it out. And then you got a good crimp to hook along batteries to batteries, and so on like that. Step one. Okay, at the moment I have 3 panels on the roof, so I have 2 panels wires coming in there, 1 coming in from there, and I'm going to build a box to tie them together there, so that way I only have 1 wire that'll come across over to the slate board. So I looked at, lumber places, saw a little cutoff switch thing, but I really don't want to put that thing up there, so I'm like, fuck that. So I got these here. Well, it was a big bar cut in half, some bolts that I found, and a little plastic toolbox, and I want to rig these across here and put the bolts through the backside, and that way have drills holes in, wires coming in, that way I can connect positives here, negatives here, have 1 set of wires coming out, and that way I can hook it up to my charge controller, and that way I can close the lid and not have, bugs up in there or other stuff, or bump it with the rake. So I'll take more pictures and get shit done. Okay, I drilled some holes through here. As you can see, I had mixed screws with wing nuts. The extra bolt we chopped off with a pair of bolt cutters. We're going to attach some hot glue to the back part. It's just to keep anything that when I hang it up above here, that keep anything that ever crawls back behind there from making any type of contacts with it, and plus less sharp edges. Okay, after you get your wires ran back on up, drill holes in the sides, poke the wires through, unwire positives to the top, negatives to the bottom, and I'll run a wire across the top part on over towards where I'm going to have everything hooked up. Okay, now that I have the junction box I made wired up, I have the wire coming along the top part there, all the way over, and drops down back behind here, goes behind my board and comes up to my charge controller here. And I ran my battery lead on down to the ground there. I haven't hooked it up yet, but I went ahead and marked out here for my big inverter and pre-drilled the holes with the drill here a little bit smaller than the screws, and I made sure the wires are tucked back so they're not touching the inverter. Now we're going to hang up the heavy inverter. Okay, after you have your wires hooked up to it, you gotta put the caps back on if it has caps. We already attached the ground. Have the ground come along to a ground block that runs out and behind to outside to a metal rod in the ground. I have the black wires there. I'm going to hook up a fan because the cabinet will be here that has the battery bank, and so that way it can breathe outside. I have the top wires up over here that I'll hook up later to something, control the fans and lights, and so on. Okay, I finally got it hooked up with the fan now. Got my batteries in the box. Got my little exhaust fan kicking. Sprayed some foam insulation up in there. So far it seems to be doing alright. right. Haven't put a big load on it yet. I just ran a cord to my big chop saw, and it seemed to do fine. I gotta re-clean up my benches, move stuff around, and then I'll make more videos later on next week. Well, I'll get everything cleaned up a little bit, at least on this side. The other side still working on. I did get to finish up my shelves, move them around, added some others. Hang up everything else all nice and neat.